but are privately exhausted. In their private life, they are really tired of a lot of things. What we often see is the promotion, the new car, business growth. We see all of those things happening. We see the increase in followers from 1K followers to 200K followers. We see the beautiful pictures online. We see all of that.
But what we don't see is that these people are stressed.
Yes.
They are lonely. Can we talk about how people are faced with mental stress? People take drugs to sleep at night. People
Yeah.
take drugs to work and all that. Like this, personalities like this always experience what we know as broken relationship.
Yeah.
People from the outside always look at them as people who can't keep relationship ongoing, and they barely sleep at night. If they have to sleep, they have to be on drugs for them to sleep properly. Have you seen people like that? Ha!
That's why today we are choosing to have this conversation about success. There are a lot of people out there who need this conversation. Even myself, while I was preparing for this, I was like, it shook me somehow.
True.
Right? Because really, success is not just about what people can see, right? It's also about what happens behind the scenes.
Energy.
It's not just what people can see, it's what happens behind the scenes. Okay. So if your money is growing, you're making a whole lot of money, you're successful, you're rich, and your health, for instance, is failing. What does that mean? If your career is rising, you're getting more popular, a lot of things are happening for you, but your marriage is struggling. These things matter. We're going to be touching these in our conversation today.
All right. So, in case you are still not understanding what we are trying to talk about, we are trying to explain what success means. Like, how can you be successful all round? That's what we are talking about today. We don't want a situation where everybody thinks that you are doing so well. Meanwhile, there are so many areas of your life that is struggling. For example, we know you, we see you, you are celebrated out there, but the children you have at home barely knows you. And there's something always importantly missing in your life. And that is what we are talking about in our life section today. So if you are in that category of persons who always succeed in one realm, especially money, business, but when it comes to your life, your health is going down daily. When it comes to your family, you are losing love, trust at home, your kids do not remember who you are, then sit down and watch. So the first point we are going to talk about is money cannot replace peace. What does money cannot replace peace? But sometimes people actually want two of them to coexist, which it can, but there should be a balance. Okay. So many people spend years chasing money. Okay, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. So you want financial success. I do want financial success. We all need money to sort our bills, take care of people around us. We need money actually to solve the problems and also create further opportunities for people around us. In fact, money gives you option constantly. So you want to travel out, you want to go on a vacation. If you don't have money, you won't even think about it. But because you have options, you can take the money you have and do what you're looking for. But money entirely cannot give you that peace you require. You have to constantly create boundaries on how to rest, on how to seek valuable relationship, on how to get clarity, get your sanity in the midst of the money. For me, money is just a tool. Okay, a person who can have millions in the bank and they are still worried every day by day, no, any phone number they don't know that calls them, they will not pick. And you're now wondering, is this person alive? Like, why are you living like your life like that? A person also can own multiple properties, but they still feel a void in their self, in their being. Another person can travel around the world and struggle with anxiety. They are always on pills to stay sane, right? Peace comes from living a balanced life, and that's what we are going to talk about deeply today. It comes from you balancing out every area of your life as well as this money, as much as it is coming. Peace comes from you knowing your priority, and peace comes from you having a healthy relationship with clear conscience. You don't get to live your life constantly killing your conscience, making money. Eventually, those thoughts will haunt you. The people you've taken things from wrongly, the thought of it will constantly haunt you and the rest. I know some people will also ask us, I'll give us examples in the comment section on why we are saying what we are saying. But apart from that, can you personally think about yourself? Right? Do you want to end like those people, or do you want to live a life where you've of impact, where people are living because of you? Which of them do you want?
So while you're speaking, the first thing came to my mind, this, we've heard this a lot. I'd rather cry in a Lambo.
Yes.
than cry outside.
Exactly.
You understand that things like that. A lot of people believe that it's okay to, I'd rather cry in a Maserati and use dollars and clean my tears.
Exactly.
Things like that. And it's, the idea is not, money is not bad, but it's bad to be on the extreme, where so much so that, imagine you have every time you need, you don't need a dime, and still on that. That's not the goal of life. The goal is to be able to have all of these things and still be able to live a balanced life. Now, talking about balance,
Yeah.
there's also a conversation around balance that, some people say at some age in your life, there's nothing like balance. Like, you don't consider balance. Really, is that true? Is that possible? We're discussing about that also today. Now, actually, the question is not, okay, how much money am I making? The better question to ask is, can I enjoy what I'm building? Because myself, I don't want to make all the money in the world, sugar. I don't want to make every dime. And let me say, when I'm 65, when I'm 70, the billions are there. I can fly to everywhere I want, but it's just me. When I call my wife, baby, let's chat, like, it's not your number, even when they come around, you can tell it's not with joy.
It's
I don't
not
want
with
that for
joy.
myself. I don't want to have all the money, have the people that I care about also chop my money. You understand?
Yeah.
Because the purpose of building a beautiful life is to be able to live it, not being overly stressed out, even not to enjoy the money. Number two thing we're going to talk about is talk about money and peace, relating money and peace. Now let's talk about neglected relationships and emotional depth.
Yeah.
Now, this was a well. Before I go on to talk about that, I said I was going to do something in this month of June. Right. So I said in the month of June, this June, that I will I said I was going to meet one new person every day. In
All
the
right.
month of June. Well, on June 1st, I wasn't able to do it. And I was quite busy. But on June 2nd, gratefully, I believe something a lot that what I say happens. So I'm careful what I wish, what I ask for. Basically, someone just reached out to me yesterday on Instagram. He's in the UK. He said he just wants to be my friend, just wants to connect with me. I was God talking, but I had to confess at the beginning. I said the beginning is very sweet, but I like work a lot. Because this energy you're getting now, it may likely die off. And it's part of the things we are trying to make you understand. It's possible to desire friendship, but the life you live now, can you find the balance for it? Can you even have the time for it? Because you can have so much money, work so hard, and if you don't intentionally create time to attend to
things
the
that
right
matter.
friendship, that's when some relationships feel neglected. Some people feel like they don't mean to, is it gaslight is called, or make you feel bad, but it's actually true that you're not reaching out again, you're not calling, and most people actually don't understand. We all understand financial debt, how you can owe money and all of that, but the same way it is with money. If you ignore a loan, for instance, interest, it keeps building interest, right? Relationships work in the same way. And I'm learning this one, I'll not lie. I'm intentionally learning it. I'm learning to call my mom more often, my sisters, because when I stop or you stop investing time in people who matter, the distance grows, just like interest on loans, right? And it's something that we need to pay attention to. Imagine a husband stop talking to his wife so much because of work. Parents, in the case, become too busy with work that they ignore their children. Friends stop checking on each other. Very, very, this is me. I'm the chairman of that group. Most times, adult children, Gen Zs, and people who come into their 20s, or more, you stop calling your parents. They now beg you to call them. Sometimes, like, my mom did something one day over the call. She didn't do it intentionally, but I felt it for like months or weeks. Like, we've never really talked. And then she called us at the office. I says, oh, I know you're busy. I know you're busy. I know you're really busy. I just get to hear your voice. Oh, yeah, take care. When she dropped the call, I asked myself, I say, content it is. Like that. But anyway, you get what we're saying. There's a place to all of this so that I feel it's not a good thing. If you get there eventually and you
You've lost
down, there's
everybody.
nobody, it's just you. Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing we are going to talk about is burnout. Destroys reason people start. There's something called burnout. This happens to everybody, both male and female.
Yeah.
Burnout is a period where you feel like you are invested in what you are doing. You put energy, time, resources in it. Sometimes it feels like you are in a ditch because the more you get, the more you want to get. The
Yeah.
more you push, the more you want to push.
Yeah.
Is there actually at the point where there's a stop? No. So the more you get, there's more. All right. That's why some people in power, they don't stop. All right. The more they have, they still want to. So there's this insatiable deep or hunger in everybody. So it gets to a point where you are now stressed whilst doing that and you feel you're not coming back. So there's a burnout there. You are always tired, you are cranky, you don't feel fulfilled. So that comes in place where after you've started for a long time and there are no checks and balances, you get to that point. And how do you do that or how do you control that? Many people begin their journey with excitement, which is fantastic. You have a goal, you're on the journey, you are getting it right. All right, you have dreams, there's energy, there's passion, and they start working harder and harder. And long hours, it becomes like rest is you have to take a lot of things to stay awake.
Yeah.
All right. I as a young girl, I saw that with a lot of my friends. Then in fact, they are so focused in life. In fact, I lost one of them because at the point where he always stays awake, he walks, he started his masters, he was doing it. In fact, he drove himself to school. On coming back, he was sleeping on the steering and he had an accident and died on the spot. So there's that part where you are doing something, you don't now know rest. Your body is giving you signals. Yes, you are tired, rest. You say no, there's more. If I sleep now, I'll lose a lot. There's a lot. Do you understand? So you are at that point where you constantly on that wheel. It feels like you are going down, 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 down. All right. So personal growth disappears, all right? And before long, you are always exhausted. Burnout is very dangerous because it steals your joy. All right, like he said, there's the things that's supposed to matter to you now does not really care. Right? Some people even tell you, "Oh, let me get the money, I'll send to them." Or sometimes people just want one. People just want to check up on you, and you're not there because they call you and you don't pick. Right? And the career you prayed for or what you've prayed for becomes the source of your stress. All right. So the same goals that inspire you now can actually make you tired if you don't put strategies on how you can handle it, right? Success should improve your life. It should not destroy your health. And this is something that you start early. For example, when do you exercise? All right. Even if you don't have time to exercise, you take a stroll. Let your body breathe out. Let your body sweat, right? You don't have to constantly stay under the AC. All right. What else? You can go to a lounge. You can go to a sit out, get fresh air, meet new people. Doesn't
You should do that too.
it doesn't mean that the money has left you. It just means that you're connecting with human, right? That is where balance comes in. It also means that, for example, if you're a married person and you have to always constantly detach from your spouse, this is not just a man thing. It happens to women a lot. In fact, is mostly when it's a woman in this case is more, is deeper
So
because
when woman detaches more,
Jesus is more, is terrible, right? Compared to a man. A woman will not even care about the children he gave because she's pursuing something.
Wow.
Okay, so as a woman, as a man, you are married, always find time to connect with your spouse, even if intentionally putting date nights. All right, that is you being intentional. So Mondays, Fridays, we sit down, we talk, no distraction, no phones. We set it aside, we look at ourselves, we talk. You get time, even if it's at night, you talk with the kids or in the morning, hear them, ask them what happened in school, know if anything is bothering them. If your kids are teenagers already, ask them. So in the midst of me or you trying to get money or get success, you are still connecting to people around you. So don't allow burnout get a hold of you in this whole scenario.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Dear wife, if you're watching, we talked in down things. So the next thing we're going to talk about now is, now she's talked about burnout. Now let's see where balance comes in, because actually balance is part of success, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now I need to say this. It took me a lot to actually come to this, and I've been safeguarding that mindset. I don't put it out there so that nobody will attack it.
Exactly.
Because
You don't want to be
honestly,
vulnerable.
exactly, because I've noticed something over time. If you're developing a mindset, you should be careful before you put it out there. If you bring out that mindset too early, people will attack it and you may let go of it, and then you will no longer build what you're trying to do. So I've learned the art of, if I'm building a mindset, a thought pattern that I'm not used to, I guide it till I know it's strong before I share it out there. Because if it's not strong enough, you share it out there, maybe someone you respect will now say, that what is that?
Remove
The
that
next
thing.
day,
Take it down.
you just, so I've learned to guide mindset, know when to bring them out. And it took me time to actually build this mindset, because earlier I used to believe that balance is weakness. Roy, at this age of life, what are you balancing for? What? Grind. Do what you need to do. And I was doing that for a period, for a time, and then I started seeing, at first it looked like I was making a headway. Then after like 3 months down the line, I said nothing ever that my spirituality, my life, my spirituality started draining. Every that thing, I realized I was just focusing on real estate, on the business, grinding. But then other things started dying. The people that I could talk to ease stress, that would help me see life, I stopped having that time with them. So I had to retreat, redesign my timeline, my routines, my schedule, and intentionally fit in talking times with mentors, talking times with people that I care about, to create the balance. Because in as much as now I can now share this, because I've built that mindset, that Roy, if you're on a stage where you can handle the 100% focus without that, that is fine, right? But I had to pay attention to myself. I was self-aware to realize that, okay, while this saying is true, but how can I apply it to the stage I am in my life, right? Because balance actually requires wisdom. If you just say, I want balance, and then you stop, you start flexing all the way, so it's not right. There is a way to go about balancing. It is, I feel balance is actually personal. I can't go and apply sugar's balance on my own. Like, I look at her, like, this is how she balances. And I want to take it or more. My account will not be able to carry it. Right? You have to look at balance in a way that relates to you, what you're doing, your life, and all of that. Because, like she said, you can become a machine. You just keep grinding. If you keep grinding, you're going to burn out, because balance is the oil that keeps the machine going without friction, that reduces friction. Life is the same. Career matters, family matters, health matters, faith matters, friendships matters, personal growth matters, all of these things. Financial growth matters. I explained you something recently, Sugar.
Tell me about it.
Is it too early? Is it too early?
It is.
Is it too early? Should I say it?
It is.
Anyway, I'll say it. So I started something, and I've done just 2 days. So I started a 100-day discipline challenge. Right? The goal is I get up every day by 5 a.m. I work out for 1 hour, just inside my room, just because after driving yesterday, my waist was paining me. Young man like me, how far now? So I had to intentionally. I feel these things, if you pay attention to yourself, what you're pursuing. I'm not that guy that at 70, the money is not everywhere now. No, not me. It's important that you find a way, define balance to fit your current schedule, your work, right? You have to find that, because real success means growing in multiple areas of life, not just one part growing. Ask yourself, when was the last time I checked on my health? When was the last time I spent quality time with my family? When was the last time I rested properly? When was the last time I invested in my personal growth? I have now carved out time intentionally that I spend reading, and I keep the book on my table, so I'll sit every time I read it. You have to just know, balance is not far-fetched, it's not luxury, it is actually a part of long-term success.
Well, so the next point I'm going to talk about is real wealth requires emotional stability. There are some people that their emotions are always everywhere. So when something exciting happens, they are everywhere. And when something bad happens, they are everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't know how to handle emotions. they say things without thinking about it. They say things how they feel, so they don't even care how you are feeling. They'll just tell you, and later they'll come and apologize. No,
Yeah.
that's not growth. So yes, there's a point you can do that in your life, but you have to grow to the point where your emotions are in check. All right, you don't do things how you feel. Even when you don't feel good or somebody is doing something wrong, you should be able to handle the situation neutral. All right, you say things in such a way that people actually don't feel less of themselves. People don't feel like, this person is harsh. Right, these things are learned. It's not something that you you just catch from the skies and all that. You have to learn the act of emotional stability, and that's what this point is talking about. So when people hear the word wealth, when they think about money, the real wealth is always bigger than money. Money is what can help you daily in daily, but there's this point of wealth creation where people around you, if, in fact, when you are dead and gone, they are still enjoying what you've left for them. So that is you building wealth, and it comes from a lot of things. So real wealth means having healthy relationships,
Yeah.
managing your emotions well.
Yeah.
Also, you are present with your family. People will be asking, how do you do what you do? You are so good at every aspect of your life. This is what real wealth means. You are balancing everything part time. You are portioning time to everything. Then you are having people who genuinely care about you. You are able to enjoy the reward of your hard work. Imagine people who have money, but their lives are in constant stress. Like I said, any number who calls you, you don't speak because you don't know the person, right? That's not a good life to live in, all right? The other has financial stability, meaningful relationship, good health, peace of mind. Which person actually enjoys wealth? Is it the person that has everything because there's balance, you're enjoying, or somebody who has everything but there's chaos? So you have to make a choice of the kind of life you want to live. Yeah, I think you should now talk about the age groups, because this wealth or success we are talking
Yeah.
about is in stages, so
Yes.
that you are not maybe a young person, you're thinking, oh, let me let me start planning my wealth. No, there are some disciplines you have to create. So talk about those
Yeah.
category of
So
people.
it is important, really important that you know this. Like I said that earlier, it is tied to the stage that you are in. I cannot carry. That's why we need to read these books, watch these people with a certain mindset. At a point in my life, I still do. I watched Alex Hamosi, watch. Then I had to learn to take his principles and carry it into my stage, because at his stage, the level of output he's putting, the man has a freaking system. He has a freaking team that helps him bring that kind of output. And you, as a sole proprietor, only you want to get that kind of results. Are you not digging your grave? So it's important that you understand these things. If you're a young adult, you're building your future, you have to work hard, of course, learn new skills, chase your goals. As a young adult, let me say young adult falls within the ages of 18 to 25, thereabout. If you're in that stage ahead, I don't like to use the word grind. So just work hard, learn new skills, chase goals. But in doing this, don't sacrifice your character, your health, and relationships. I realize most people, I don't know about you guys, but I think the real relationships I've made in my life are those in my primary school and those I met after school. I'm not saying the ones I met in secondary school, university, but I realized that those I met when I didn't have anything to offer in life in primary school, like we just bonded somehow. And then after I left school and stayed building my career and stuff, I also met very genuine people who are genuinely interested in the skill sets I had. And all this is a time as a young adult you meet those kind of people. And if you're middle-aged adult, so I'll say middle-aged adult is 25 to 35 or 33 thereabout. At this time, you're thinking more of career, you're thinking marriage, children, finances. Most people in this stage are actually thinking about these things: the career, the marriages, finances. They're thinking of taking care of their parents as well. It's the time you start thinking of maybe if you have parents alive and uncles that have helped you, you're thinking of a way to also give back to them. You should also remember that you matter as well. Because at this stage, a lot of people, the pressure is carrying you. You're just doing, at this point, lots of people, 80%, what's 80%? Over 90% of what they do is with others in mind. They rarely think of themselves in that point. But this is also to remind you that taking care of yourself matters too,
It
because if you
matters.
die,
So
You can't take care of them again.
Big time.
They will, as you go,
They'll move on to the next big shining thing.
Somebody said something like that. He said, "Oh, more." It's so funny. When breadwinner dies, bread is gone. So it's important that you as breadwinner, you know you're the breadwinner. Almost the guys their life because if you go, their bread is gone. So take care of yourselves. And for older adults, you've grinded, you've worked hard. Well, use the word grind again. You've worked hard, you've created value. It's important that you know this. For instance, you're in your 50s, 60s. At this point, many people, large sums of money is not what matters to them. At this time, they are looking for people they can point to the wisdom they've garnered over time,
Exactly.
the experience they've gotten over time.
That's why some of them starts. You've grown. You now go back to school to lecture.
Yes.
They want to pour back to the
Yes.
younger people.
Yes. If you're in such a stage, like if you perhaps come across this video, it's important you find a way to express this. Otherwise, you may have the money, but you won't feel satisfied with yourself.
True.
You will feel not satisfied with yourself. You've garnered experience. At this point, it's not the money. I've seen people who at this point, like you said, they just go to lecture. They don't even care about the money. They just want to
give back.
Exactly, guide certain people. So yeah, just constantly investing in relationships and passing down lessons to the next generation. That is actually what all of this is all about. As you're making the money, think beyond yourself as well, while considering yourself, so that at the end of the day, you can achieve balance.
All right. We're rounding up this video. If you found value here, please do well to let us know in the comment section. And what does success mean to you? You guys watching this video and you've watched it to this point, what do you see success as? All right. Answer that question and most especially find ways to balance it. Okay. So because at the end of the life, people really wish they had spent more time at the office, except that the people that they love are in the office. Right, and that should be their goal. So as you build your business, as you grow in career, as you chase your dreams, don't forget to build a life that is worth living. As you enjoy your life, impact people around you. Okay, that will be all from my parts in today's live section.
Yeah, so thank you guys for joining our live session today. Of course, remember to share with someone who can find this valuable. Right, always make sure you do that. And if you have other concerns or something you want to say, the comment section is open for you. And also, in parting, don't forget to pay attention to the part of your life that needs attention: health, family, finances, or any part of it. With that being said, thank you for joining. Enjoy a great day and bye for now.